I'll cross to Kristin Tate in a moment, but first, Donald Trump has flipped, saying he'll sign legislation to release files related to the sex offender Jeffrey Epstein after resisting this move, of course, for many months. Here's the president.
We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others. They're all Democrats. I'm all for it. You know, we've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that.
I put to Kristin Tate that it should be great to get some transparency and have these documents out there for all to see.
Yes, in 2024, Trump built one of the most unexpected and really robust coalition of voters in U.S. politics, in large part because of promises to kind of challenge the corrupt elite and restore justice. And his base, including myself, we want transparency regarding the Epstein case because this case represents the extent to which powerful people globally are shielded from accountability by shadowy government figures and their allies in the media. But so far, any concerns relating to the Epstein case have been kind of dismissed by this White House. It's been very disappointing. Trump has actually kind of scolded some reporters for even asking about it. You know, for 4 years, we were all asking in this country, who is in charge in the White House while Biden was in charge? Who's actually making decisions? So we all turned out and voted for Trump because we wanted a government that tells us the truth and provides us with transparency. So it's great to see Trump coming out finally and saying he'll release this stuff. However, Chris, do I think we're ever going to see a big client list, Epstein client list, the real one anyway? Absolutely not. We will never see that list. The reason why, I suspect, is because there are huge names from both the left and the right of major donors. Nobody from either party wants that exposed from the top level.
That's why this is so fascinating and there's so much interest across the spectrum on this. It was only days ago, of course, that the Democrats were attacking Trump for sitting on all this information. Have a look.
He campaigned on releasing all the Epstein files, obsessed about it. His vice president obsessed about it. And now the White House is involved in a massive cover-up, and we want to know why won't they release the files?
All right, so now they're going to get what they want. What's the process here? It has to get through Congress, doesn't it? And then the president signs off on it, and then we get everything? Or are you suggesting there are ways still that some of the documents can be held back?
There is very likely no way that we are going to get everything, especially a client list. The reason I suspect, Chris, and look, I don't have any insider information, but I suspect that a client list doesn't even exist at this point. It's probably been destroyed a long time ago, but it's hilarious to see leftists sitting up there demanding that all of this be released. Hello, Joe Biden was president for 4 years. All these same Democrats who are screaming about transparency did nothing. They had no interest in this for 4 years, but they were right. That man was right that it is true. Trump did campaign on this. So we would like to see whatever documents exist being released to the public.
Yeah, let's see it all. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. And I would just note in passing that Bill Clinton has been very quiet of late. But
Yes.
I do want to move on to another topic, and that is, of course, the US continuing to attack these alleged drug runners running drugs out of South America into the US. These are stunning assaults where they're actually blasting boats out of the water. And have a look at what the president has said about this, unapologetic and in a way suggesting he'd go a lot further, of course, even with Mexico. Have a look.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. We know the addresses of every drug lord. We know their address. We know their front door. We know everything about every one of them. They're killing our people. That's like a war.
Yeah, typical Trump there. But again, this puts more pressure on Mexico, doesn't it, to stop the supply of drugs into the US?
Of course it does, but they have not done much up to this point. There have been many calls from Democrats, even a few Republicans, and of course the media to kind of halt these attacks on drug boats, but Trump shows no signs of backing down. There are a couple polls floating around out there that I saw before we went on air showing that only a minority of Americans support these attacks. I don't believe those polls for a second. I suspect they're kind of asking the questions as to whether people support these attacks in a misleading way. Let me tell you, Chris, everyone I know, Republicans, Democrats, independents, people who love Trump, people who hate Trump, they support these attacks on drug cartels. Drugs are killing scores of Americans. Illegal drugs are killing scores of Americans every year, nearly 100,000 last year alone. The drug users and addicts who don't get killed, their lives are destroyed. Nearly every person in this country knows another American personally who has had their lives destroyed by these drugs. Most of them are coming across the southern border. They're coming from boats. Trump is doing the right thing. He doesn't have to worry about re-election. He will not back down. He does not care about the negative media coverage on this.
OK, let's finish with a bit of light relief. And I want to go to the former First Lady, Michelle Obama, addressing continued speculation that she might run for the presidency one day.
Well, as we saw in this past election, sadly, we ain't ready. That's why I'm like, don't even look at me about running, because you all are lying. You're not ready for a woman. You are not. So don't waste my time. You know, we got a lot of growing up to do. And there's still, sadly, a lot of men who do not feel like they can be led by a woman, and we saw it.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with her. It's all the voters, Kristin. It's all those deplorables that never vote for a woman.
Yes, that's true. Well, look, Michelle Obama is a very entitled woman who spends her life living off the success of her husband. The Obamas have many beautiful homes, including an absolutely breathtaking one right off the ocean in Martha's Vineyard. This is a woman who does not want to leave the life of luxury. I think she's smart enough to know that running for president is grueling. And she also understands that while 50% of the country really loves her, the other 50% despises her. She doesn't want to do that. She just wants to keep living the life of luxury. So the truth is, it's not that America ain't ready, it's that Michelle Obama ain't ready. She is going to continue doing what she's doing.
Exactly. Well expressed as ever, Kristin. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, Chris.